Okay, today we are going to be finishing the hand that we drew last week. If you're not done outlining in Sharpie, go ahead and finish outlining your whole work in Sharpie. Don't forget that you can use your big eraser to erase any pencil marks that you still see after you've outlined in Sharpie so that your artwork looks nice and clean. We're going to be using the warm colors and the cool colors today and grouping them together. So they should not be mixed in any way. We're going to use the cool colors for the background, and we're going to use the warm colors, which are orange, red, and yellow, for the hand, because your hand's kind of warm, so we're going to use all three of the warm colors just for your hands, and the cool colors for the background, blue, purple, and green. So I should not see any of the cool colors on your hand or the warm colors in the background. Now, what you're going to do is there's little pieces of your hand. You want to make sure you're just coloring your hand in warm colors. So wherever you see a piece, kind of like this thumb piece right here, I'm just going to color the part that is the hand, because the rest of that square is going to be filled up with cool colors later. So I'm going to go around and kind of maybe skip some squares. You can do every other color if you want to. I'm doing this in marker. You can do this in marker or crayon, or you could even use both. You could use a little bit of marker and a little bit of crayon. Now see how I colored that part of the hand, but the rest of the square wasn't part of my hand, so I did not color it in warm colors. I'm going to save that when I use my cool colors. So some parts are very, very tiny, and you just want to make sure you get a warm color in that tiny spot that is in the shape of your hand. Because when you're finished, you should see your hand really well sticking out with these warm colors over the top of the cool color background. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Notice how I'm going in and just filling my hands, and I've got my warm colors only. All three colors were used. I didn't use any other color. When I'm done with my hand, and you can see it's a perfect outline of my hand, I'm going to use my cool colors to go in the background. There's going to be some tiny pieces for my cool colors where there was just a little bit of my square left. Make sure you get those with your cool colors too. You want the entire background to be done in cool colors. Again, you can use marker, crayon, or you could use both. Either one is just fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my background and my squares and just start using all three of my cool colors, green, purple, and blue, to just fill it in. Notice how I got that little corner there. There was just a tiny corner left that wasn't a part of my hand, and I wanted to make sure to get that with some of my cool colors. So as I go through, kind of alternating the green, I'm going to go back in with my blue and purple. You don't have to do all one color first. You can kind of alternate the colors. That's just fine. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so that you can kind of quickly see how I'm finishing my artwork. I'm going a little bit fast on this so that my video isn't too long. But take your time. Try to get all the white colored in, because if you leave a lot of white left on your paper, it just doesn't make it look as nice and neat and stand out as much as it would if it's all colored in. So I'm kind of skipping around on my checkerboard background. Once I'm done with my green, I will use my warm colors. Or not my warm colors, my other two cool colors. So I'm going to finish filling this in. And I'm going to go back and use my other two colors. I think there's a couple more squares here. I want green. And then I'm going to go back in, use my blue, and start alternating squares. I kind of think it would look neat if it had crayon and marker in it. Like a few squares were dark in crayon or dark in marker, and then you use some crayon for some other squares. It might give it some dimension. But again, that's your choice, whatever you'd like to use to finish your artwork. So I'm going to try to quickly speed this up here, finish coloring in my art. Whenever you are finished, make sure you just raise your hand and let me know, and I will come collect your artwork. Whenever you are done, I do have free draw paper in the middle of the table. You can use crayons and pencils. Please don't use markers because they do run out quickly and I need them for our art projects in the future. So you can use crayons or pencils when you free draw. And please, when you're free drawing, please do not be folding up the paper, making paper airplanes. It's just a time for you to kind of do your own artwork, draw a picture that you'd like, maybe make something for a friend or a family member if you have time. But it's not time to be folding in paper, making paper airplanes. You're just basically doing your own art while you wait for your other friends to finish their artwork. Also be respectful of your friends who are doing their artwork. If you are talking to them and bothering them, they may not be able to get done in time and they may not be able to stay focused on their artwork. So again, focus on free drawing if you get done first and making sure that you are respectful to the people at your table and that you are allowing them to get their work done too. So I'm almost done here. Gonna finish up my last few squares. I kind of had two colors there together, that's okay. I'm going to finish this up. And then when you're all done, your hand stands out very well from the background. So it kind of looks like your hand is laying on a checkerboard pattern. So when you're finished, it should look something like this. Again, when you're done, raise your hand. I'll come get your work. And then you can use the free draw paper on your table to free draw until everyone else is finished.